Hello everyone, and welcome to The Wonder of Star Wars The Old Republic Episode 17. It has been so incredibly long since I had last recorded an episode. If you're watching these as they come out, it has been almost 3 weeks. On our last episode, we played a Flashpoint with some of my friends from my guild, Vestige of Despair, on the Ebon Hawk server. And I talked to my Imperial Guild leader, and they said we're actually looking to have more players join, especially on our Imperial side. So if you're looking for an Imperial Guild, make sure to check out our website address is remnantsofhope.com. That's what our Republic side guild is called, but we're looking for lots more Imperial players too. So, what has been going on that has been so long since I made a video? I actually left for work. My company is very interesting and I'll tell you about it later, but now I am back from my work travels. And the last thing I did a little episode called 16 and a half, and I went and grabbed myself a speeder, so I have a speeder now. And we just got our ship in the last episode, so let's talk to our new droid that is on our lovely, lovely ship. This is a really great ship. This is the ship that the Sith Inquisitor and Sith Warrior both get, and it's a very perfect ship for a Sith.
Greetings. I am 2VR8, factotum droid for this vessel. You must be my new master. Gentle, kind new master.
Javiik doesn't look gentle or kind.
What are you, my personal entertainer? Do you perform tricks?
Not as such, master. I would be willing to learn tricks if it pleases you, however. I am programmed for a wide array of tasks, including but not limited to meal preparation, ship maintenance, janitorial duty, and etiquette. Welcome aboard this Fury-class Imperial Interceptor, a versatile craft combining a starfighter's maneuverability with armament to rival larger military vessels. You'll find all of the standard amenities, including your own private captain's locker for storing valuables. The astrogation console contains a constantly updated map of the known galaxy. Interstellar communications are accessed via the ship's holoterminal. Priority alerts that you may find useful are available from the Imperial HoloNet console. Lastly, the ship's intercom will inform your crew that you wish to issue new orders. Any questions, Master?
Wow, I've never really stopped to think about how big of a change having a ship will be for Javiik. Before now, he really had no choice but to exactly go along with what everyone said. He had no freedom, no real way to escape. Even if he ran off, someone would catch him sooner or later. He still can't completely disobey orders because obviously his ship is going to be tracked in some way or another, but he does have a lot more leeway to move around and go where he wants when he wants, as long as he fulfills Zash's ultimate wishes.
Are you at least capable of providing security while I'm not aboard?
I regret I am unable to offer you combat support, Master. Frankly, my chassis couldn't withstand the stress. However, should any errands arise that are beneath your superior status, please do not hesitate to call upon me. I function to serve you. Whenever you are ready to depart, consult the galaxy map on your bridge. It will program the proper astrogation coordinates and activate the engines.
Now Javiik has his own little slave too. I mean, it's a droid, but practically the same thing, right? Oh, very cool. So we got one of our codexes about game rules, and it lets you know you can do solo space PvE. You can kind of have an on-rail shooter once you get your ship, and this is something I really, really enjoyed when I first started playing the game. Now, the ships aren't that huge. I mean, they're pretty decent. They're like a small-sized apartment. But they are...
Hail to you, Master.
But they're not going to be those dreadnoughts that we see around on the fleet. You don't have your own Imperial-class horror. So who do we have on our ship? We have our lovely, lovely... giant monster on our ship. We have 2VR8, which is a new companion we got, who says he's not equipped for combat, but in more recent updates, well, not that recent, he actually can be equipped for combat. He's a pretty decent healer, actually. If you're new to the game, this is where you start...
Flight Commander Pyru, my lord. If you possess a ship, I could certainly use your talents. The Republic grows bolder. Their attack squadrons ambush Imperial targets and disappear into open space. We're struggling to compete.
Why would the Republic risk war over these space skirmishes?
Open warfare's just around the corner. They're likely probing us for weaknesses, readying for battle. I've scrambled the Caas 23rd and Dreadwing, but it's not enough. We're forming an exclusive response squadron, the Empire's Fury. With a Sith of your power leading the squadron, we'd crush the Republic in record time.
Time for you to see what a Sith can do.
Fantastic, my lord. Your call sign will be Rage. Uploading mission data to your ship now. You'll work alone, while the rest of the squadron assists throughout the galaxy. Strike with fury. Strike for the Empire.
Rage. This is where you start space missions. For solo ones, not the PvP ones. Those you can actually start at, I think, level 1, and you open them up near your map down here. Boom. But those are something, both of those are things I'm very bad at, although I really liked the solo ones when I first started. So, we are going to head to Balmorra to continue our story.
Is that you, apprentice? Excellent. You've arrived safely on Balmorra, I see. Now, I hope you're ready to work. I've got a good idea of where the ancient artifact is on Balmorra, but it's not pleasant.
What exactly does this entail?
Yes, well, let's just say circumstances have changed since Tulak Horde hid his artifact. Tulak Horde hid his artifact in a vault on Balmorra, one that was later converted by the Balmorrans into a toxic waste storage facility. But the vault was hit badly in the last war. It's now a crater filled with toxic waste. Your artifact is at the bottom.
I'll just get some diving gear and go.
If only it were that simple. I'm afraid the waste would kill even you, my apprentice. But try making contact with the Imperial Resources Officer here on Balmorra, Major Bessica. Bessica knows the planet, and he may even have a few good ideas.
You want me to work with an Imperial?
Those who succeed without the Force make up for what they lack with a certain resourcefulness. Don't write Bessica off. The Empire has its hands full coping with a violent Balmorran uprising. Officially, they're a grassroots militia. Secretly, they have the Republic's full backing. I've informed Major Bessica of the Republic's involvement, so he'll be better equipped to assist you. No doubt the Republic's hounds will get in your way.
I will destroy the enemies of the Empire.
I expect nothing less. But the war is secondary to the artifact. Retrieve the artifact and try to be discreet. We don't want the entire Sith Order chasing our prize.
There's the option that I chose is the second to last option that said, non-Sith are beneath me. That was a very non-Javiik line. I did like what she replied with, those who succeed without the Force have a certain resourcefulness to them. Why do we want to go to Balmorra? For those who have been following along with the WONDERTALK, it's a secondary series that I run around the same time as this one, and it kind of explores Javiik's backstory, not his story in the game that we're following with Sash, but his kind of the one we've made up for his roleplay story, his own personal history, how he differs from an average Sith Inquisitor. And there is someone from his past who is on Balmorra, and that is his mum, who he was separated from when they were both enslaved. So his mum has probably been here somewhere from a couple months to max a year, around the same time that Javiik was training with his former master before he went into the Sith Academy. So I have an idea of on this planet where I want to meet up with her, but since we can't ever actually see her in game, she doesn't really exist, I'll probably just be covering that in WONDERTALK. Oh, I'm so happy now. Look, I have a speeder, but I don't have enough bars as a free-to-play player to actually use it on my bars. So every time I want it, I have to go find it. This is the best theme song in the entire game. This is, I think, called The Occupation of Balmorra. There's a couple of Balmorra tracks. I'm not sure if this is the exact one. It's a very Sith track, that's for sure. So I told you I would tell you a little more about my work. So I work for a company. We don't sell gemstones or jewelry, but we work closely with lots of other companies that do, and we kind of help them do business. So what I got to do was I got to go to Arizona and Colorado, one right after the other actually. The second one was a surprise for me, and I got to go photograph hundreds and hundreds of gem and jewelry companies' products. It was really cool.
My lord, welcome to Balmorra. I hope you like bomb-to-pieces mudholes. Captain Rigel, Imperial Conquest Consolidation Corps. When the Empire invades, we're the ones who seal the deal. Don't suppose you're aware of the situation here on Balmorra?
It's my understanding there's some kind of battle.
Yeah, if you could call a pile of bodies a battle. The Empire invaded Balmorra in the last war, but we've been spinning our wheels in the mud ever since. Resistance fighters think they can drive the Empire off Balmorra. We're here to prove them wrong.
How do you expect to succeed where the Imperial Army has failed?
We are the army too. Other soldiers just don't have the capability to handle our kind of specialized missions. The Balmorran government in exile, backed by Minister of Defense Vol Argen, is giving us fits, backing a strong faction of the Resistance. The Minister is safely off-planet, but if we break his allies here, we break him. We break him, we break the Resistance.
Why doesn't Imperial intelligence just have him assassinated?
Yeah, I get your thinking. Cut off the head and kill the body, except Resistance movements aren't organisms, exactly. If we took out Argen, it'd be big, but as long as his power base stands, some other idealist is bound to step in. That's why we need to take everything out. Do we have the privilege of your support?
Normally I wouldn't be bothered, but this project sounds intriguing.
Aw, Javiik
You
would
have our
help.
heartfelt appreciation, my lord. My second-in-command, Lieutenant Davril, is masterminding Phase 1 of what we like to call Operation Breaking Point. You'll find him in Sobrik. He's got plans to blow the Balmorran resistance sky high. I think you'll like them.
Oh my computer was being cranky when I was on the fleet. I'm guessing just because there was so many people on there at once. And I turned the graphics down to very high, and there is a huge difference between ultra and very high. You can really see it. Well, I don't know if you guys can watching the compressed YouTube video, but I definitely can on my beautiful giant monitor. I can't see every hair on Javiik's face anymore. And yeah, so the last 2-ish weeks in a row straight. You're such a weirdo, Kimball. He says, I remember the craters and trenches of Yin and Chabosh, the terror of the dying. It was glorious. Codex Sobrik. Sobrik was the original capital of Balmorra before the more advantageous location of Bin Prime was chosen to replace it 300 years ago. Since then, the city of Sobrik has first shrunk, then been almost entirely obliterated by bombing runs and rebuilt by Imperial engineers. Sobrik was one of the last cities to hold out during the Imperial invasion of the planet. Because of this and its close proximity to the state-of-the-art Balmorran arms and Okara droid factories, the Empire has made Sobrik the headquarters of its occupation, maintaining tight control over the remaining civilian population. I really like Imperial Sobrik. What's cool is, although I believe Balmorra and Terrace are the two planets that are technically apart, you can't, I want to say you can't even go. You can't visit Republic characters on Balmorra at all, but that seems wrong to me. I know you can't on Terrace, but anyways, you can come to this area on a Republic character, and you can actually sneak your way into the cantina, so you can be in the cantina in enemy grounds. It's pretty cool. It's a really good RP area.
My lord, I have heard much about your accomplishments. I understand you are not averse to occasional off-the-record tasks which require some discretion. One of our officers has just had an unfortunate dust-up with a valuable delegate, and we need to doctor the results.
Why don't you lay out the situation first?
This officer recently quarreled with one of our Chiss delegates. The delegate did not survive. The Chiss have provided crucial intelligence here and elsewhere in the war. It would not do to strain relations with them.
What's your plan?
We have doctored a security recording to make it appear that Balmorran rebels attacked the delegate. We need someone with no direct connection to this officer to go to the room where the murder occurred and upload the doctored footage to the security cameras. With luck, we can turn this into a galvanizing point against the rebels.
Just show me where the fun is.
The delegate was killed in the back room of a cantina. I'll give you the coordinates. Just tell our man at the door that you're working for Breredan, and he'll let you pass.
Oh, speaking of that cantina, it's probably the same one. So many quests to pick up.
Hey there. You got a second? Oh, you're one of them Sith Lords. I ain't seen one of those before.
I don't think I'm quite
Am I
a Sith Lord
supposed to,
yet.
Bow or something? I, bet you could get me to who's in charge.
Why would the Empire have any interest in a little worm like you?
Oh,
I'm
Javiik,
part of the
rude.
Resistance. Or was. I mean, it's dead. We've known that since you set our own droids against us. I want to come out of this with my head. I got info. Right here. Where the rebels are. What they're hitting. Introduce me to the Mucky Mucks, and I'll trade them the rest for a berth off-planet.
You want to defect?
Now you're getting it. Help me out. I think Lieutenant Trishota handles defections, but he's been targeted a few times, so he don't take people off the street anymore. You convince him I'm the real goods, and I'd bet he'd cut you in a finder's fee.
He seems so shifty. I don't think he's real, but I want to finish the quest, so I'll make sure to go talk to him. Oh, what I was thinking about the last... Go away, Val. Stop climbing on the railings. What's this? Is this, heroic? Why is this from a box? That's random. Sure, we'll just pick it up along the way, I guess. The last quest mentioned the Sith's relationship with the Chiss, and that is a very cool topic. If I had to pick a topic to be covered in an expansion, like have a whole storyline dedicated to it, I would 110% cover the Chiss ascendancy and Scylla and the relationship between the Sith and the Empire, and even the relationship between the Sith, or not the Sith, the Chiss and the Republic could be very cool if, especially after everything that's happened with Zakul. Like, they barely touch the Chiss, even though they're such an incredibly important ally and have such a unique history and culture. I mean, you can play as a Chiss, but I mean, it kind of ends there. And I wish the more I learn about Chiss, the more I think they're cool.
What dark secret shall I share with you?
Ooh, expunge. We've got a cleanse, finally. Not that we have any place for it on our bars.
Be gone.
There's something of great value in one of the hazard vaults. The one that was blown open. I heard you could help.
Ah, who's this? Sith? And an alien at that. It's a real pleasure. I have a son on Korriban, you know. It's a tough war you're walking into.
I probably killed
We're
his
fixing
son.
blasters with adhesive tape. But we'll help you any way we can. Now, let's see. A blown open vault. Captain, do we still have those pumps?
Sir, if this is the vault I think it is, it won't be that easy. The fumes alone have put men in the medical center.
I recognize that voice. Is that your companion? The really smarmy one? Has black hair and a mole?
Do we have anything else we can work with?
We need some way to make this pit less deadly. Tell me, Captain, is
Quinn.
there nothing that can survive the toxic waste?
Well, nothing grows there, sir. But there are the colicoids.
Colicoids? What do those bugs want with toxic waste?
Food, sir. Our surveillance satellites have recorded them feeding on the toxic waste. We suspect they've been designed to eat it.
Is that Quinn? Anyone who's played with him as a companion, you let me know in the comments.
Why would they be designed to eat waste?
It does seem like a strange thing to do, Captain.
It's a guess. The toxic waste resistance may have been an unintended result. Or the Balmorran scientists were insane.
I personally prefer the term differently rational.
Well, whatever you call it, it might be just what we need to crack this thing. There must be a way for you to take on the colicoid's resistance, so you can enter the vault. Captain, where were these creatures created?
Well, I can't say for sure, but there's a research lab not far from here that was overrun with colicoids as soon as the Balmorrans abandoned it. But the colicoids are vicious creatures. Just one of them tore apart a whole squad.
I can't afford to make excuses. I need the information in that lab.
I'm sorry, Sith. We don't have the numbers to deal with these things. But if you can get into that lab, we'll get you into that toxic pit.
Sir, even if we find out what causes this resistance, we don't have the...
We'll worry about that later. Right now, our Sith friend has to get into that lab and find out what the Balmorrans did to those creatures.
So I'm going to become a colicoid, if I understand that correctly. Major Bessiker, a proud Imperial officer who rose to notoriety during the Sith's return to the galaxy, fighting with distinction at Coruscant and Begarin. Major Bessiker was made Chief Supply Officer on Balmorra near the end of the war. As the Empire has provided fewer and fewer resources to support the ongoing pacification of Balmorra, Bessiker has almost single-handedly propped up the Imperial war effort, scavenging and repurposing old equipment and improvising armor and weaponry in a pinch. Bessiker comes from a distinguished Imperial lineage, and in spite of his connections among the Sith, both his brother and his son trained on Korriban, Bessiker has never complained about his posting on Balmorra or the difficulty of his job. And now I'm really hoping I haven't killed any of his family, since apparently there was more than one in the Sith Academy. Oh, could I go in that little room? Ah, nothing there. There's so many quests in this area. Balmorra, I remember on the Republic side, is probably one of my least favorite planets. Just bugs and it's dreary. There's a couple of pretty areas, but not that many. And there wasn't a lot of story for some of the classes here.
My lord, word of your talent precedes you. I'm honored. You're well aware of the situation, I'm sure. The government in exile, the resistance, cowards. If my lord is willing, we're going to bury them in their little hidey holes.
What do you want me to do?
The old government's sending generators to the resistance, powering their artillery. The resistance has given pardons to Balmorra's worst killers in exchange for a little guard duty. Phase 1 of Operation Breaking Point is to destroy those generators and put those killers to sleep. You in?
That'll do nicely.
The generators are in the Nibre warehouse. If you can blow them to pieces, you'll show the Balmorran resistance it takes more than cold-blooded killers to stop the Empire.
That was such a short conversation, just in and out. Oh, I just saw some XP popped up, and it reminded me that I was complaining about the fact that I'd accidentally hit double XP again. I believe last episode or one of the recent ones, and you guys were happy to point out that there is a way to disable double XP if you want to continue leveling slowly while the event happens. Double XP comes pretty randomly, often happens around summer or long holidays for the USA, and gives you, well, what it sounds like double experience or double whatever else of the day. And unfortunately, because leveling is already so fast, I wanted to turn it off, and there is a way. It is on the fleet. I don't remember the exact details, but there's an NPC you can deal with.
Are you the officer who deals with defectors?
My lord, my poor station is honored by your presence. I'm Lieutenant Trishoda. High Command has tasked me to learn how these rebels think, as distasteful as that is. Have you found a candidate? Someone of enough value for the Empire to recruit instead of capture?
Oh, we don't have to tell him. He didn't really seem worth recruiting.
A man named Griffin Remus. He gave me this intel already. Why don't you torture him for anything else he's got?
Oh, that's not what I thought.
Pick him up. Thank you, my lord. Forgive me the paltry payment for your service. We have a standard rate.
Oh, that's not quite the option I wanted. What I didn't want to do was like recommend him to her and then him just be like a fake defector and then it like tarnishes my reputation. I didn't exactly want her to torture him. I need to figure out, oh, here we go. Heroic moment is something we can remove and put our speeder on. Ta-da! Oh, come on, you can do it, Javiik. Now we're gonna head to that cantina quest. This is the cantina I was mentioning that you can, like, sneak around into if you're on the Republic side. It's a pretty neat little cantina, especially if you're looking for somewhere just different. Kimball wants to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you, Kimball. I just want to talk to the dancing Twi'leks.
I'm working for Brereton.
Thank you. You just told me to go inside. Oh, hello, droids.
Sight is like.
Here is our poor dead Chiss. So let's go doctor the computer and maintain our nice relationship with Scylla. Javiik needs his sweet moolah, so we won't forget to pick things up along the way. As I was saying about my work trip, I went to Arizona and Colorado, and what I did was I went to what is called a gem and jewelry show, or a mineral show, or a fossil show, often all three at once. And what happens is miners who own mines, like where you dig rocks or metal up, people who design or manufacture jewelry go to these, and their goal is to try and sell their stuff to the public, but mostly to other buyers who are buying to sell it again. So for example, someone who owns a boutique or a shop in a museum, or they own an online store, they will come buy from those people and then resell it for a higher profit. And in return for that discount that the public doesn't get, they agree to usually buy multiples, like $300 worth instead of you or me just buying $10 worth.
I handled your cover-up. As far as anyone will know, the rebels killed that Chiss.
Excellent. And I have heard nothing of it, which is even better. Please accept this payment for your service and your silence.
Why was this quest so easy? What was the point of it? You just like walk over, kill 3 droids, tappity tap the computer, and off we go, I guess. Alright, let's head into actual Balmorra. And so, like I said, there's these companies trying to sell to other companies as well as to the public, and what is so cool is the sheer variety of stuff you could find. Like one of the shows I went to last year, if you guys know what a geode is, it looks like a normal rock on the outside, but you crack it open like an egg, and inside there's like sparkly crystals. There was one of those, but it was 14 feet tall. It was just massive, crazy. It's called a cathedral. It's amethyst, the purple stone, and just giant. I think they sold it for like $20,000 or something even higher than that.
Convoys travelling to the Troida military workshop require armed escorts, and escort personnel are not available at this time.
So, you're telling me we've got your whole blasted empire behind us, and you can't even find... Oh, sir, I didn't mean... Obviously, the might of the Empire is focused on more urgent, activities. Yes. Glory to the Empire.
Glory to the Empire. Look at the little guys in the background.
Please, please, don't hesitate. I would love to know how you truly feel.
What? That is how I truly feel. I'm only frustrated that my factory may soon be unable to contribute its share to our glorious Empire.
Birkin's frustration is understandable, though misdirected. The Troida military workshop requires fresh supplies for its wartime operations. Supplies are shipped from here by due-back convoy. The resistance forces responsible for the raids against our Troida convoys are encamped in a series of caves nearby. Reconnaissance teams have finally pinpointed the location of this resistance encampment. Given your extensive abilities, you could eliminate this threat once and for all.
Yeah, sure, why not?
That doesn't seem overly complicated.
The mission will have two primary objectives. Objective 1 is to eliminate resistance forces and defensive emplacements in the area. The second objective is to retrieve a set of stolen Imperial power regulators that the Resistance is using and destroy their main generator.
No more power, no more defenses.
We will await your return. Good luck.
Oh, I have every dewback mount on my main account, and I'm really, really wishing I had dewback mount just for a few minutes so I could ride around on Balmorra and pretend I'm part of the convoy. Right, so I was saying, and going to the shows is so cool, so I get to see like really common fossils that you can buy for like $10, and then like thousands and thousands of dollars fossils, like one of a kind, preserved species, giant like sea creatures that don't exist anymore, all kinds of bizarre, strange stuff on the fossil range, and like preserved bugs in cases. And then on the gem and jewelry side, that's really cool too. The jewelry is a little more boring, I guess you could say, because a lot of it is, you can only do so much, but the gems and the minerals and the specimens really interest me, and I try and learn a little more every day about them, and it's so cool. Just rocks are very neat. Let's see, I need to do something with this shield, but I'm not entirely sure what. Oh, I see it. And what's so cool is how each stone has different properties, and it comes from different locations, and all the colors it comes in, and what causes those colors, and like what different properties they have. It's almost like learning about lightsaber crystals, but you know, real life stuff. Okay, so what exactly does it want me to do here? Take the first power core. Oh, I see. Ta-da! We're gonna get those sweet, sweet XPs. We're gonna be like level 50 in no time. We're already level 27 and we're on our... We just started our third planet. I'll have to decide what we do when we hit 50. That might be a good time to subscribe and unlock stuff. We'll see. Oh, right, so apart from all the properties of the different stones, I really like the, I guess, anecdotes that surround a lot of them, little tidbits and facts that have to do with each one. So if you've ever heard of topaz, topaz is normally known as a blue stone, a kind of pretty sky blue, sometimes it's called London blue. Just a very nice color. It's often used in jewelry, though it's kind of fragile, I guess you could say, so it's not necessarily something you want to put in like your wedding ring, but it's fine if your earrings or something like that. And what's interesting is that topaz, when it comes out of the ground, is not normally blue. Like, it would be very rare for it to come out of the ground blue. It's actually usually a kind of, not too ugly, but a very palish brownish color most commonly, and I think sometimes trends towards a little bit brownish yellow. Don't quote me this, I'm just kind of trying to remember what I remember from the courses I've taken. And what they do is they can manipulate stones in different ways, often through heating or irradiation. And so topaz, that's normally brown for the earth, can be turned blue fairly easily. So pretty much any blue topaz stone you see, it's like a 95 point whatever chance that it's actually came out of the earth as brown. And there was also all kinds of fakes back in the day, so a lot of stones that they thought were rubies from old historical items, like I believe it's one of the English crowns has a black or dark ruby, and they found out later it actually wasn't a ruby at all. They just didn't have ways to test the gemstones before, and how you test gemstones is so incredibly cool. I'm sorry, I could probably talk about this for like 5 hours. Pretend we're talking about lightsaber crystals, okay? You can do some really simple test ones where you just look at them to guess. For example, there's a trick you can use to, I believe it's like quartz, glass, or diamond. You can tell the diamond apart by putting a dot down on a piece of paper, and you can turn the stone around, and if you could see double dots, it's not a diamond. But there's all kinds of more specific tests that have to do with the specific gravity of the gem. So you put it in water and I don't know enough about it, but you put it in different vials of water and you can see just how, I guess, how, not quite how heavy it is, but how dense? I'm not sure what specific gravity is exactly, but you can test it that way. There's all kinds of tests you can do that have to do with light and the way the light goes through or bends inside the gem, or what light happens to do when it goes through the color of the gem. Does it like split into multiple colors, or does it just stay one? I clearly don't have enough science for this, but it's just such a neat topic. So very, very cool. And I'll share a link in the description of this video if you want to learn more and not listen to me ramble about it. It's a free course that was made, I believe, by a university teacher, and she teaches you in writing and pictures for free basics about gemology and the identification of gems. I'm sorry, I was so distracted I forgot to actually do the quest. But now that I am done talking about my work and my interest in sparkly things, where is that core? Right down in the hole. I will tell you about what has been going on in Star Wars The Old Republic news. If I can click this. There we go. There has actually not been that much, which I was kind of surprised about. I went to go looking for the news over the... Sorry about that. I wonder if you guys can hear the very lovely loud train outside there. Goes by my house. There has not been a ton of news in the time that I've been gone. If you're watching this video at the time that comes out, this is September 2017. Bad with dates. And the only real news that there was is that there has been a delay in the roadmap. And the roadmap is something that the developers released to tell us about what is coming up in the future. The most recent update we had at the time of making this video is kill all the things! No, that's not it. At the time of making this video, the most recent update was the new Balmorra flashpoint, which I got a chance to do. It was pretty cool. It was definitely neat. I don't know. It was good for what it was, just a flashpoint update. A little tiny bit of story teaser, I guess you could say. And we were hoping to get an update about what would be coming for the next 3 months or so. Unfortunately, we did not. That update is delayed. And as soon as I find this next score, I will tell you exactly what happened. Come on, I'll kill things while I read. This is from the official forums. It is from Eric Musco, the community manager. Number 1, the roadmap is still in progress. We have been shuffling some things around with respect to 5.5 and 5.6, and we need that to settle down before we can let you know exactly what is coming and when. It was our plan to put out Game Update 5.5 in late September, but we have made the decision to move it into early October, currently 10-10. There's probably something else I'm supposed to be doing other than killing people. We did this to allow us more time to focus on quality for our game updates, to avoid some of the issues we had with 5.4. There's a couple of bugs going around with 5.4, especially a really bad exploit for getting free stuff that you shouldn't be able to get. Number 3, class balance is still planned for 5.5. I expect I will start putting out these details starting next week, which they did. We know returning companions is something there is great interest in. Oh, I know my thingy's nearby. Here it is. As soon as we have any announcements on any companions coming back in a game update, you will be the first to know. So if you have been waiting for Kira or Miko or any of your other favorite companions that haven't returned yet, they are well aware that you want them back by now. Unless you're like waiting for Skadge. Oh no, he's already back. So I can only assume they're trying to figure out good ways to bring them back that don't feel like superficial or kind of like forced. Hey, we killed all the things here. So that was the update being delayed, and I can't say I'm too, like, I'm not surprised. I'm not fussed about it or anything. As long as they try and keep to their dates that they promised for content, like if they say something like, a Flashpoint is coming out next month. I hope they try and actually keep to that. But announcements about announcements, I'm not too worried that they're late. It doesn't really mean too much to me, honestly. They've never been the best about keeping deadlines, so I don't like expect them to start now, I guess. But one thing they did keep to their word, they were saying in that post that they would start releasing class updates, and I've talked about class updates before, like not class updates, but class balancing. There's no new abilities, they're just tweaking, usually downgrading the class's damage. And they just recently, I think today, released... I'm trying to fight and read at the same time. Just put it down, Javiik! Put it! Okay. They released Marksmanship, Sniper / Sharpshooter, Gunslinger, and they released Vengeance, Juggernaut, and Vigilance Guardian. Those are the mirrors of each other. And so if you play any of those classes, you might want to check the official SWTOR.com forums. You can search SWTOR Dev Tracker and it'll give you all the newest developer posts. And I believe they both got nerfed. Don't quote me on that one. I can only hope that once they're all done with all the changes, all the classes are actually balanced. I don't think anybody has any proofs so far that that's going to be true. I guess we'll just have to see it when we get there. They have to finish balancing all the abilities, the combat proficiency abilities too. I should probably put some points into that. I already feel super OP though. And that's it for SWTOR news. That's literally it. There's been, if you haven't been watching it yet, there's been a lot of stuff about something different available every week. There's the rare outfits, I guess you could say, that normally come from the randomized cartel market packs. If you're looking for something to spend your cartel coins on, from like say subscribing or you got some as a gift or something, those ones are definitely one to watch. Some outfits are worth a lot more than others, so just keep your... Oh, where am I going? Keep your eyes open and just watch the GTN for them. I mean, some are worth like 40 mil, some are worth like 100 mil. They're usually a decently good deal, but one could be better than another. The terminal shows a log of the work done on the colocoids and the toxic waste. Progress on the experiments is not going without a hitch, but we seem to have overcome the initial obstacles we faced when we began. Recently, Team 5 reported that the subjects responded positively to the waste from the hazard vault. Our only remaining concern is that the casualty rate seems to have gone up in this round of testing. So far we've lost 2 of our best scientists and 3 research assistants. At this rate, we almost can't afford to be successful. At any rate, I've recorded the formula for the chemical compound that has thus far produced the best results. I've also diagrammed its structure and how I believe it interacts with the colocoid cell structure and the toxic waste. Hopefully, we will be able to figure out the cause of the rise in the subject's ferocity and eliminate casualties from here forward. The remainder of the log is a series of chemical formula and scientific jargon. It is not scientific jargon about gems. Let's get out of here! In non-Star Wars The Old Republic gaming news, a game that I am quite possibly obsessed with has recently come out. It came out when I was gone and I was so excited to play it with my husband when I got back. It is called Divinity Original Sin, and they recently released the second game in the series, I guess you could say. And what I really like about this game is how nice it is to play with a second person. Star Wars The Old Republic is pretty okay to play with 2 people. A lot of the initial game, the class stories and the planetary missions, you can do with 2 people and it's pretty fun, but that game is just glorious to play with 2 people. It was as if somebody built it specifically to play together with a friend. And it's very possible to play by yourself too. It's just one of the few games that I found the dual experience to be so incredibly pleasant and fun. One of the other games I really enjoyed playing with 2 people was, I'm not sure of the exact name, it's a Lara Croft game. If I remember right, it's kind of... Oh, these are good guys. I shouldn't blast them with lightning. I believe it's kind of like isometric. You're kind of looking down from the top at an angle. Troida Military Workshop. The Troida Military Workshop epitomizes the new Balmorra. Ostensibly an independent business, it nonetheless answers to the Empire and serves as a supply depot and weapons manufacturer for Imperial headquarters in Sobrik. Its overseers are expected to worry about Imperial edicts first, and profit last. Not surprisingly, its workers have been known in the past to harbor resistance sympathies. Nevertheless, its production remains strategically vital to the Imperial war effort, and caravans between Sobrik and Troida have been subjected to frequent guerrilla attacks by the resistance in an attempt to cut off the lifeblood of the Empire on Balmorra. It's so weird going to these quests as someone who has seen the most recent stories, and knowing that the Republic and the Empire could very much be at war again.
Praise the Emperor! My lord, you don't know the relief it is to see you. You are the answer to a problem that has gone from insulting me to threatening the entire Empire.
Few people look at a Sith and see an end to their problems.
And believe me, I would not normally seek such attention, but I beg your aid. My name is Gan Sakol. I'm a senior science officer here at Troida. Perhaps you've heard of my involvement in the Protactinian bomber design. No matter. It would only help you understand the sensitive nature of what I do, the secrets I'm privy to.
Secrets?
Let me guess. Those secrets walked off with someone they shouldn't have.
Indeed. Though that's a kind way to describe high treason. But let me be direct. I am not the traitor. My wife is the one who betrayed first me, then our empire.
I hope you plan to elaborate.
I should never have brought Kalara to this forsaken backwater. I was so hopeful when she finally stopped complaining. But no, she found her own entertainment. His name is Harez Bant. He's a thug, clears the trash at the cantina in Sobrik. Imperial intelligence believes he's a spy, and I am certain beyond doubt that he's the one who has the design plans that disappeared from my bedroom drawer.
If he's got those plans, he won't see tomorrow.
Thank you, my lord. I cannot say what it means to have one of the very arms of the Dark Council on my side. The plans must be recovered before Harez sells them to the Republic. He should be at the cantina now. I will gladly give you as great a reward as I can muster should you dispose of this refuse. Then I will deal with my wife.
If I'm the arms of the Dark Council, who's the feet of the Dark Council? That's probably Imperial intelligence, sorry guys. Oh, his funny beard reminded me of something. How I was saying there is different outfits that roughly weekly, every other week or so, max, the different outfits have been for sale. I'm thinking the Primeval Stalker set, if you know of that one, it's kind of a smugglery looking set. It has kind of fur on the top of a jacket and like teeth? I think it's teeth around the side. I'm guessing that one is going to be one of the ones coming up soon enough because they have been basically hitting ones that are expensive or rare on the GTN, and that one I don't think has shown up yet. Could be wrong, maybe it came out when I was gone. But I would keep my eyes open for that one if that's a set you've been looking for or are looking for one to make a profit. This week's one is pretty rare. It's like actually one of my favorite sets that I have on my main character, but in terms of pure profit, if you're looking to sell it on the GTN or credits to cartel coins ratio, I think it's on the lower end. Is this what the Empire calls war? Hiding in a warehouse? Yes, Kemval, sometimes you just gotta hide in warehouses.
These blasted Balmorrans have no idea what's good for them. They should have fallen to their knees in gratitude when we first offered to bring them into the glory of the Empire.
One way or the other, we will bring them to their knees.
Well said, my lord. Perhaps you wouldn't mind assisting me with a small problem. Last week,
why does everyone have problems?
Rebels managed to reprogram the defense turrets around Sobrik to detect and target Imperial troops. The engineers I sent to fix them were massacred. My only hope is to find someone willing to brave both the rebels and the turrets themselves to repair them.
These rebels must learn they have no chance against the Empire.
Thank you. The turrets are scattered around the perimeter of the city and guarded well by rebel spies. You'll need to use this to neutralize their defenses, then upload this code to allow us to reprogram the proper targets. Those rebels will pay for their impertinence with their lives.
I feel like I've spent most of this episode just picking up quests, not actually completing them. Terminal? This is the one I picked up from a box and I turned it into a box. That was a bit of a waste of a mission, I guess. Oh, that guy's really strong accent reminded me. If you have watched any of my recent videos, you may have noticed that one of the recent ones is actually in French. And you may be wondering, Swtorista, why did you do a video in French? That is because I made a video a little before that about which server should you choose, and I tried to go over the servers and what their populations are like and what type of player might enjoy each one. And in that one, I have some data to kind of back up my claims, and I looked at the data not as closely as I should have for the French servers, and I recommended one over the other kind of just off the cuff. I didn't actually realize how many French players watched my channel. I was kind of surprised. Hi guys. Bonjour, hello. And so someone pointed this out in the comments. It was very kind and polite of them to say I was incorrect, and so I wanted to try and make it right as best as I could, because I was very, very wrong. This wasn't just like an opinion thing, it was a most definitely bad suggestion, and I felt really bad about it because the whole point of making the video is turrets! The whole point of making the video was so I could help people not accidentally wind up on a dead server if they wanted to be in a well-populated one, and that if they followed that suggestion, it would be the exact opposite. So to try and make it right, I did a very detailed video showing off those statistics and why I would suggest the opposite of what I did and where those numbers came from. What I used is the conquest scores. They're not 100%. I have to disable the shield? How? Oh, here we go. I didn't actually do the other one, did I? So that was fun. I don't speak French very well. I'm sure those of you who maybe took French in high school or middle school said, hey, not too bad, sounds like French. But anyone who is a fluent blueberry from Quebec or is from France or maybe from Africa too. Quite a few people speak it in Morocco, a couple other places too. And they would know my French is pretty bad. I had to put subtitles on the bottom just to make sure, but I was proud of getting it done. So I actually grew up somewhere that spoke French, and that is actually something I'm going to be sharing a little more of. I'll give you guys a little hint. We are coming close to a milestone for people subscribing to the channel. I did something very special for... Oh, we gotta go disable that stupid turret. For 10,000 viewers, and I'm hoping to do something again for 20,000 subscribers. And I'm going to not spoil it, so never mind. Just keep your eye out on the channel for stuff coming up. I promise there's gonna be like videos actually coming out as well. I was just on hiatus while I was away for work. Let's go find another turret. Aha! Yes, yes, come on. There we go. Let's see, we've got quite a lot left to do, and our quests are all scattered about, so this might be a good time to call it a day. Thank you for joining me on episode 17, and if you're watching this the day it comes out, make sure to watch WONDERTALK tomorrow so we can talk about Javiik's mum on Balmorra. And if you're watching this in the future, far, far from when this came out, make sure to check out episode 17 of WONDERTALK to continue the story. I'll see you guys later. Bye!